Hello, Taurus. Let's go ahead and get into this end of October energy reading. Take what resonates and let's go ahead and begin, my loves. Thank you for being here. All right, what do we have for Taurus spirit? Knight of Swords. That is the main energy for you during this time. Knight of Swords is a very focused, driven, fast-paced energy. I feel like maybe this time of the month might be very, very busy for you. You might have a lot of commitments and things that you have to show up for. And this is a good energy of being focused, of being very much, on the task. And then what's blocking you here is the Judgment. So that's really interesting. We'll see what that's about. The Judgment is about missing a mark on something. If it's in the blockage, it could be that there is something that you're not seeing, and there is potentially a wake-up call from spirit that you might not necessarily be receptive of this time. And it could be maybe because you are so busy, right? What you need to leave behind here is the Strength card. And I feel like when I see that, is the whatever lack of confidence, whatever limiting beliefs, whatever, energy that's stagnant that you might be experiencing, spirit wants us to leave it behind. Spirit wants you to move on from that. Spirit wants you to see how powerful you are. And that could be tied as to why the Judgment is the blockage. And we'll get into that in just a moment, Taurus. What we have here in the near future, which I love, is the King of Cups. This could be your own energy, you grounding yourself and you allowing yourself to be, as aware of your emotions as you are of your actions, right? So I really like that for you. It could be very, refreshing for Taurus to really consider how it is that they feel, right? Because at times Taurus can be the protector, the provider, Taurus is a very loyal and just beautiful energy. I love Tauruses. My wife is a Taurus, my grandma's a Taurus, my aunt is a Taurus, and I would never see a Taurus not trying to help someone else. Like, they will be willing to give the shirt off their back. But at times, Taurus struggles with seeing what it is that they need emotionally. And you need to have the support system to allow you to feel comfortable to see that, or to be aware of what your own needs are. Or this is, again, your own energy recognizing that. So this could be someone that helps you recognize that, or this could be your own energy. You're coming to those own terms. And then you have here the Page of Cups. And I love that. Page of Cups is kind of being very connected with, your desires, like being reconnecting with your why. That could be very important for some of you guys. The Page of Cups is a sweet conversation, having a heart to heart with someone. And this could feel very liberating for you. Okay. So with that being said, Taurus, I do want to go ahead and get into this Judgment, because that is a pretty strong blockage to have. Let's go ahead and see why Judgment is your blockage. What is it that you're missing the mark on? What is it that Spirit needs you to realize that needs to change? So we have here the Knight of Wands. Okay, this energy of desires. Okay, Knight of Wands can be... Knight of Wands is all about following your intuition, following your passion, following whatever it is that makes you excited, going on adventures. Then we have here Ten of Pentacles. And that's really interesting, because I feel like the Ten of Pentacles is probably what's holding you back. It could be resources, finances. And then you also have here the Hermit. Okay, so I feel like, Taurus, what this is saying is that you really got to connect with yourself. Okay, and I see this here with the King of Cups. I see this here with the Strength in the past, and I also see this in the future with the Page of Cups. And what's most important here, Taurus, is that obviously you have things to take care of, right? We all do. But what's most important here is to find the balance of giving yourself, the recognition that not everything that matters is the routine, the paying the bills, the showing up in a certain way for your family. There is this energy of, what about me? There is a part of you that needs your attention. And that part of you craves adventure. It craves, fun. It craves having a laugh, going out on a fun date, going out with friends. There is an energy that there is a lot of responsibility that's weighing you down. And Spirit wants you to have a moment in silence and acknowledge, this is actually draining me, with the Hermit showing up there. I feel like the Hermit is about following your own lantern and not being afraid of being against the current. And what's expected of you, you are someone that has a lot of pressure. You have a lot of expectations on yourself, and you have a lot of responsibilities, right? And Spirit is saying, yeah, it's great to be in this energy of the Knight of Swords, right? It shows that you're responsible. It shows that you're focused. It shows that you will follow through. But Spirit doesn't want you to sacrifice your well-being. So what Spirit is asking is you have to have an epiphany, a judgment moment, because if you keep ignoring it, then you're going to keep doing damage to yourself. And how can we get to the King of Cups near future, right? Which is you still having the authority that you have over your life, but you're also now paying attention to your internal world. Your internal world is screaming for you, for your attention, Taurus. There is a sweet conversation that's coming. If this represents something to you, if you have someone in your life that you're going to just let it all out, right? Allow yourself to really let it all out, okay? Don't just worry about, well, how is my feelings going to make that person feel? And if this means that maybe you have to go to a professional, then go through a professional, you know? But you have to obviously have your discernment and know who you're speaking to, because not everybody could be ready for the type of emotions that you're going to say. But some of you guys, you have a lot of things bottled in and you have to let it out. And because sometimes with Taurus, when you're speaking what it is that you're feeling is when you actually get to understand yourself. If you just leave it in the back of your mind, then you're not really getting anywhere, okay? Give me on this Page of Cups, please. Page of Cups. What do we got? Page of Cups. Queen of Cups. Again, lots of water energy. Your internal world is the top priority during this time. You have here the Page of Wands. There's this need of having fun, Taurus. Have fun. Go out on the date. Page of Swords. I feel like you have to detach from all of these roles that you feel you have to comply to. And it's not that you're making this up. Like, obviously, some of us really do have to, you know, work our full-time jobs, and our full-time jobs sometimes drain our energies. But Spirit is saying, well, if you're willing to give your energy to something like that, you have to be willing to give a little bit of energy for yourself, right? And that's what this is saying. We got to focus on that self-care, focus on really regenerating, paying attention to your internal world, and allowing yourself to not be a prisoner of this reality, okay? So with that being said, please, Taurus, let me know if this resonates with you. I know this could be a little bit tough. And if you do like the reading, please let me know how it resonated with you down below. If you do want to support my channel, go ahead, like and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. And with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next reading, okay?